to another episode of the T40's podcast. This is number 14. I am Ryan, and I'm here with
Michael,
Alex,
and I'm Benson.
Today we got some stuff for you. We're going to do a beer of the week, then Netflix movie of the week, which was Kung Fu Dunk.
Chex Mix.
Chex Mix,
Yeah.
Chex Quest.
We're going to do a Teach Me about the musical artist Tiffany. Then Mike is going to talk about superhero movies or something. I don't know, really. Then we're going to top 3 movies and top 5 most wanted. So first off, if you have any questions or comments, or you just want to talk about bad movies with us, you can send us an email at podcast@tipping40s.com or call 218-666-8407 and leave us a message.
Number the beast.
Yep. So we'll just go right into it. Do we have any emails? We have a couple of emails, but they're all about the movie, so we'll just do that.
They were all about the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, skipping that. Beer of the week. This one's actually pretty good. It's Odell's Woodcut No. 3, Oak Aged Crimson Ale.
You balled.
You
balled hard.
We balled for this one because this is $25 a bottle, and it's one of these 750 milliliter bottles. But it's
me and Mike haven't had any yet.
yeah. So they're gonna
smells bourbony, oaky.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
We've seen this beer many times and just been like, this is a $25 beer.
Yeah. And so we got it because
that's good.
Yeah,
That's a really good beer.
It smells like oak and barrel on the front of it, but it has like a really complex, like kind of like caramely spice taste once you actually start drinking it.
Yeah,
And it's got a lot of carbonation.
it's got a very
It's
strong
crisp.
caramel.
Yeah, caramel
Yes.
too. But we got this one because our movie is pretty much done this week.
Yeah,
Final touches on editing.
Yeah, tomorrow will be the last day,
Cool.
Yep.
and we're going to talk about that next week.
So it's kind of our
Yeah,
celebratory beer.
we will be talking about it. We've only mentioned it in passing a few times, haven't really discussed it, but we've been working on this thing for the better half of a year, so it's about time that we actually talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about ourselves a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I know, right?
We
So
don't do
what
that
percent is this beer?
This is 11.
11?
11%.
You don't taste it at all.
It was actually
Yeah.
barreled in November of 09. So
It
it's 2 years
smells...
old.
You smell the alcohol on it, but then when you taste it, you
Yeah,
don't
it's very.
taste
It's
the
actually
alcohol.
surprisingly smooth.
It smells
Yeah.
like a strong triple or something.
Yeah.
This is a great beer.
It is very good. I don't know if it's worth $25.
Yeah, I wouldn't
but-
pay $25 for it still, but it is fantastic
Yeah.
though.
I would love to eat like a fucking steak with this.
Oh, yeah.
Or like ribs.
That'd be incredible.
Ribs would be really
I like
good
to eat
with
a
it.
steak with anything, so.
Yeah, that's true. I could eat with like Kool-Aid. This is a great pairing.
This is a good meat beer though.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's got that tinge of taste to it that really works well.
That's good.
Okay, so moving on, we had a Netflix movie of the week last week. It was Kung Fu Dunk, and based on the description, we thought it was going to be about basketball kung fu, kind of like Shaolin soccer, maybe.
Yeah,
that's what
that's
my
what
impression.
I thought it was
I thought it was
gonna
going to
be.
be.
I
Shaolin.
I thought it was Kung Fu Hustle Dunk or something like that.
Are I talking about this?
Yeah, I'm introing it for you.
Oh, I see. Well, I have a whole deal here.
Okay,
so
well,
I
just
better
go
get
into your
to
deal.
it. Okay, so yeah, as he said, we watched Kung Fu Dunk. I'm going to preface this by saying that the movie doesn't make any sense to begin with, but there are moments in the film that it is like, head and shoulders above the rest
Yeah.
of it that are just completely
They
insane.
break the movie.
Yeah. But anyway, I digress. The movie starts with some ugly title text and some other crap, and there's some guy slam dunks a ball, and there's like a CG backboard breaking and stuff. But the way that really the movie starts is a homeless guy gives away a baby, and then he...
What about the
this-
quote
Well,
at the
no,
beginning?
someone gave the baby to the homeless guy.
That's
and
right.
The homeless
Someone
guy
gave the baby
gave
to
it.
him.
What about the
It was like
quote
I
at the
gave him a
beginning?
hot potato.
There was a really good quote at the beginning. It was like,
Oh, it was like
he who controls the rebounds wins the game.
Wins the game.
They said that quote multiple times.
That's from
Yeah.
the big Aristotle.
Yeah, shockingly, the big Aristotle. Shockingly, Asian movie not good at symbolism.
Yeah, go figure. So anyway, homeless guy gives away the baby, and he then jumps away. He runs away by
He gives
stepping
away the
on
baby
a
to.
guy's
Oh,
face.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
He
you just
stepped
said
on
they
the
give
dude's
away.
face.
They give away the baby to like a monastery, like a
Yes.
kung fu place.
Yeah, well, it was like is a kung fu school.
Yeah.
is what it is. But so the baby's name or the kid's name is Feng Shi Ji, but really to us we just called him Dunk. So
Yeah, we referred to that.
Dunk is he has a master who teaches him fighting stuff at the school, but then he's before the school actually he has a master, but he's doing Tai Chi or something and he freezes himself to death.
Yeah, he tries to alter reality.
Yeah, instead he just turns into an ice block. So then he goes to Kung Fu
confusing.
school, and he's suddenly like 20 because the pacing is garbage at the beginning of the movie.
Throughout.
And, well, it's worse at the beginning, though.
Yeah.
And then at Kung Fu school, he's really good at fighting, but Principal Belding doesn't like him, so he's like, he always beats him up, you know? Like, he makes him volunteer for his beat-up sessions to show all the other students. And so one day he wears Kevlar so that it won't hurt as much, but he's mad at him for it, and so he makes him stay outside all night, and that's where he meets Asian Drew Carey. And Asian Drew Carey sees him throwing cans into the trash, so he bets him he can't throw a coin into his mouth from like 15 feet away. I'm not sure what prompted him to make this bet, but so he does it, and so he gives him leftovers from a restaurant, and that's how they meet. And one interesting thing about Drew Carey is that he's ADR'd the entire movie.
Yeah.
So,
There are times when his mouth is not moving and words are coming out.
yeah. This is like multiple times, too. It's not like
Yeah.
once in a while. So I can't tell if that's a joke or not. I thought maybe it was a joke.
I think maybe that actor's voice was just horrible.
Maybe.
Like, it was like,
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
creepy.
But anyway, Dunk and Drew Carey go to a bar, and some dudes start shit, so Dunk beats him up, and the whole bar gets messed up. And so the gang they beat on's all pissed, and they offer the principal a bunch of gold bars. So they just have gold bars sitting in a case.
Kind
And
of
they're
America.
They want him to turn over Dunk or whatever.
line.
So he gets tossed out of Kung Fu school, and Drew Carey wants to get him into the university so he can play basketball because...
Drew Carey wants money.
Well,
Drew Carey's kind of like
more
his hustler
so,
agent.
his
Yeah.
only real indicator is that he threw something into someone's mouth.
That's all you need to know, man.
But apparently
It's a
that
pretty
means
good throw.
he's good at he's good at basketball. So okay,
Hey, they're Asian. They don't have a lot to, pin their basketball hopes on. They're just like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy can shoot something in a garbage
To be
can.
fair, Dunk throughout his entire movie shoots like 98% from the three-point
Yeah.
line.
he
He's
does.
unbelievable.
Well, then he
Yeah.
goes to First University, which I think that's short for the first university stupid enough to let a guy in to play basketball despite having no high school education or
Yeah,
also
they
no
let him in to play
experience
basketball. They
sports.
throw a
Yeah.
press conference
And
like
they have
immediately
press
without even
conference
seeing
for him.
the guy play. It was
'Cause
pretty
he's so
funny.
good.
Well, then he jumps 15 feet on the jump ball, so you're hired. Let's go.
So he meets his team Red Bull, because their jerseys look exactly like Red Bull cans for some reason. I'm not sure why. And he meets She-Dunk, who's his love interest, and he finds out that she's the sister of the captain of FU's basketball team. So that's pretty sweet. And
The captain is a big alcoholic.
yeah, the
Yeah.
captain is an alcoholic and he drinks during the basketball games, but nobody minds because in China basketball has no rules, and we'll come back to that later.
He's the Asian Ron
So-
Artest. That's what he is.
So anyway, he plays really bad in his first game, except right at the end he gets the ball, and so he can't shoot or dunk normally. So he runs back near half court and shoots and makes it. So you find out like he's only good at shooting from far away. Oh! So Dunk trains by chaining himself to a bus and stuff. I'm not sure how that helps him, but it does. And he really likes She-Dunk too, so he stands outside her house for a while, but she can't tell it's him. And when he finally calls her, she says some pervert is standing outside, but actually it was him. Oh!
That's cute.
So he runs away. Yeah, I know, it's not creepy at all. This makes me like the character a lot more. So and Dunk tries to learn how to dunk, but he realizes his problem is he jumps too high. First time he tries, he jumps up and hits a ceiling that's like
Common
30
problem.
feet.
Yeah, well,
Common
it's like,
dunking problem.
It's like
for
NBA
Asians.
jam dunking, like from
Yeah.
like half court, way over the hoop.
Yeah, the first time he tries to dunk, he actually hits the ceiling and breaks a light because there's like a leak at the flubber factory next door or something. I don't
Dwight
know.
Howard had to learn that too. Jumping over hoops and shit.
Also, all the dunks look really bad because they're on strings and they don't look correct.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like they don't move right. Like they kind of like they're always correcting their dunk to try to
Yeah.
get to where the ball needs to be. So they always do these weird moves last second.
very
to try to
strange.
get
They
it.
always do extreme camera angles in that
Yeah.
point too.
So they're having a party to get ready for the big game against their rivals, which is Team Fireball. And She-Dunk has a hat with a big pot leaf on it at the party, which not sure why. I don't think she knows what a pot leaf is.
They just like Americans like this.
Yeah.
They
So
do.
the guys from Team Fireball try to bribe Drew Carey, who hasn't really been doing a whole lot aside from like standing around and like he always make like these mawkish, like vaguely motivational lines. That's all he's done the whole movie up till this point. And so they want Dunk, and they're not sure whether to trust him. But then I think who was it? Was it you or Alex? One of you guys said, because he declined their offer.
Right.
So the price was not right.
That was me.
Carey.
Right, yeah, it was me.
The price was not right. So they go to the game. It turns out the other college is named Final University.
Yes.
Which I think that's short for the final university we had to ask who actually let us rent out their huge basketball stadium. So, and they come out to play, and they're all wearing like bondage gear or something. And
that was weird. I forgot about that.
One of them was dressed like Mankind.
Yeah, I thought I was watching Deadliest Warrior for a second.
They had like these Mortal Kombat masks on their mouth and shit.
Yeah.
And so we finally get to the game, which is actually the only moderately interesting part of the movie. And there's pretty much nonstop technical fouls that just don't get called ever. The refs don't seem to mind.
Yeah, they're punching and elbowing guys.
Yeah,
it's
people
people
constantly get hit in the face and tripped, and nobody even cares. And the Fireball team is destroying them. It's like 36-2 or something like that.
Well, because they purposely injured the other people on Dunk's team.
They pulled a Karate Kid on him. They kicked his leg.
Yeah. So then someone smashes the power box and turns off the power in the stadium because giant basketball stadiums don't have generators.
I gotta say, this is one of my biggest problems of the movie, is that the game stopped and started like 3 different times. It was the weirdest fucking thing. It was like, we gotta start the game again, we gotta stop it again, we gotta start it again. It's like, what game does that ever?
The owner of the club, I think it was a club he trashed or something, right? That guy comes around, and first they delay the game by 3 days because of the power, which makes no sense anyway.
Right.
But then the guy who owned the club comes around, and he basically says that it was him who stopped the game because he bet $5 million on it, on a college basketball game.
Well, to make things clear,
Chinese.
the Final University team was funded by some drug guy who kicked out the club owner. So, like, the club owner has a vendetta against him. That's why he's betting for Dunk's team.
Yeah. So the game starts up again 3 days later, and the masters from Dunk's Kung Fu school come around to play basketball because people who do Kung Fu their whole lives are better at basketball than people who play basketball their whole lives. Apparently.
This is what you would call Asian fantasy.
But then it gets worse with them.
It gets much worse. So also when they make their dramatic entrance in the background, because I had to watch some of these parts again, in the background the clock is running even though they're just walking on the floor. Makes no sense.
I will say, I was like, once they were like, all there is to play is Dunk, everyone else is injured, I was like, are they going to bring out those fucking people that were in the background? And then they did.
One of the players, one of the main Asian, the main Kung Fu master character is the Asian Helena Bonham Carter, circa like Fight Club.
Yeah.
And she throws little needles into players during the game. And they don't ever call any fouls. No. Yeah, and the ref tries to call one, and she throws a needle into his neck so he can't blow his whistle.
I think we're learning valuable lessons here
Nobody
about how to play
minds.
basketball.
Why are they calling fouls on throwing needles but not elbowing and punching guys in midair while they're trying to dunk? What the fuck is this shit?
Exactly. This is why I said, like, the other masters just constantly break rules. All of the Kung Fu masters, they do things like traveling, holding, acupuncture, goaltending, climbing on the backboard.
Acupuncture.
They climb on the backboard like a tree frog, and then finally...
They go up and down all the time, too.
Finally, at the end, they physically beat up the entire opposing team.
They weren't the ones that started that fight. The whole team came in off the bench. So all those guys should be disqualified for coming off the bench.
Yeah,
but they didn't do that.
Yeah.
There would be no game.
So the funny part about that is after the big, Kung Fu fight, like, it's halftime or something, and the 4 people who are playing the 4 Kung Fu masters, they're kicked off the team.
Yeah, they get kicked out of the game because the refs were mad at them, which I find funny. They waited until halftime, and then they're like, now you're out. Get out of here. But, so at halftime, She-Dunk gives Dunk a note that his parents wrote for him and said they were proud of him and that they're in the stands or whatever. So he looks and he sees them waving, and so he's like, he's all motivated. And, Team Red Bull's doing pretty good, but there's, right at the end of the game, there's a stop and play with like 3 seconds left, and it's like they're down by 1. And Mr. Belding comes back because he doesn't want him to win because he's mad at Dunk. And so he pulls a Tanya Harding and smashes him in the leg with a bat. Right in his kneecap. And he hits him so hard, he breaks the bat.
But he keeps playing.
But he recovers. Yeah, he keeps playing. The only thing he can't do now is he can't dunk because he can't jump high
Oh, you
enough.
forgot the part when you know how they didn't. All the other players were injured. All the masters went and healed the injured players.
Yeah,
like
they did
Mr.
like
Miyagi
Kung Fu
style.
Yeah. They had some kind of.
They like froze
They
their
broke their
wounds
cast
and broke
off, too.
It, yeah.
Yeah, I wrote that, but I
Whatever.
don't know. I just missed it. Yeah, they healed the players using some kind of magic kung fu technique also. So Drunk Captain passes him the ball with 1 second left, and Dunk shoots from the other side of the court. And the time's at 1 second, and then there's like a 3 or 4 second shot, and then right after that it's counting down from 2 seconds, which kind of made me
Well,
laugh.
of course. It's
But,
a common movie problem.
Yeah, but as the ball approaches the hoop and it's just about to go in, this is the greatest part of the entire movie.
Yeah.
I was dying here.
The ref jumps up and punches the ball out of the hoop before it goes in it. He just punches it, and here are the lines that follow that. I just wrote them down. She-Dunk says, "Hey, what the hell is this?" And Drew Carey says, "You're the referee." And the ref says, "No, I'm not. I'm B. Tianho's secret weapon." So in other words, the ref was hired by the other team.
Well, then that guy, he says,
He's the worst.
the ref's allowed to
informant,
goaltend. He's disqualified now, but he wasn't on any team, so our team isn't disqualified.
Yeah.
So we won.
Yeah,
that's the
that's
word.
what happens. Like they say, goaltending only applies to players, not referees. So Fireball wins, and that's the guy from Fireball stands up and says that.
There's nothing
And
in the rules
no
that say
one-
a ref can't play.
No one opposes it. Everyone just goes, "Well, I guess that's the game,"
Yeah,
and
it's
all
over.
the fans
Yeah.
start cheering. And
The
so,
team starts crying.
but however, Dunk remembers back in the beginning of the movie when his kung fu master froze himself, and he realizes that by using the power of flashbacks and what I've dubbed Dunk Ex Machina, he can turn back time, and he can run through like a path from Stargate or something.
Yeah, and it's like trying to freeze him.
Yeah, and so he doesn't get frozen, and he goes back in time, and everyone else gets frozen. And
Instead
then-
of trying to make the shot, he assists it to
Yeah,
someone
he
else
throws
to dunk
it.
it.
He throws like
He
a half
throws
court alley-oop.
a full court alley-oop to his teammate.
In classic communist propaganda, teamwork reigns supreme.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it says that.
So, oh, by the way, the time was at 1 second. So for him to do an alley-oop, the entire court would take more than a second anyway.
Second he
That's
touch, if
defeating
it's zero
the-
and he touches it, doesn't matter. It doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well,
it doesn't make.
I
any
think you're
sense.
looking at like the last problem.
Well, no, the
Not-
biggest
he
problem is the
went
ref.
back in time. He went back in time.
Yeah.
So here's the really funny part. Like, the ref thing was funny, but at this point they won. She-Dunk's happy. You think the movie's over.
Oh,
But it's not.
it's not over.
No,
No,
this is what I was going to say. See, this is the thing that I was going to say at the end that really bothers me the most about this movie, and I've seen it in a lot of Asian movies, is they don't know how to end it. So there's like 10 endings, and it takes 15 minutes. It's literally 15 minutes from when they win the game to the end of the actual movie.
Yeah.
And like, it could just end right after he meets his parents. Like, he could just meet his parents and it could end. But they don't do that. They have to tell the ending. So anyway, the parents in the stands aren't his parents. They're the parents of Drunk Captain.
No, it wasn't drunk captain. It was the other
was
guy.
Was it
different
other
dude.
guy?
Yeah, it was the other guy,
Yeah.
ex She-Dunk boyfriend.
Yeah, that's right.
whatever.
Yeah. So Dunk finally meets his real dad, and it turns out he's the richest man in China.
Oh, yeah.
Which
I
what?
forgot about that.
Communist? Then how rich would he be?
Why is he the richest man in China anyway? I don't
Oh, they
understand.
said something about him coming from London or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he left Dunk because he owed a lot of money back then. He didn't want anything to happen to him.
Evil
Chris-
creditors were
Yeah.
going to kill.
And so apparently leaving him with Tire Hobo is safer than... He left him in a tire. That's
I guess the richest man in China isn't safe.
Yeah, So he takes Dunk with him. He says he wants to get him into pro-Chinese basketball or whatever. And Drew Carey's all happy for him, but he's also sad because he lost his friend. And but then Dunk shows up at the restaurant where they first date, and he's basically like, well, my dad just wanted to make money off me. He wanted to use my skills to exploit me, pretty much. Like, he
Like
basically...
Drew Carey.
But there's no reason for that whole section to.
Yeah.
But Drew Carey loves it.
Yeah, which is exactly what Drew Carey did too. But so now he's going to stick with Drew Carey, and then everyone's happy. But also, Drew Carey hints he wants to get him into the Olympics at the end, which he probably win because he can high jump 30 feet in the air. So maybe he win that
No,
at least
he'd
that
probably
event.
be disqualified because he would then try to kick and go back in time. He wouldn't be able
So
to play.
the best part though is that there's no wrap up for She-Dunk.
Nope.
So what the movie does is it has a 10-second still at the end and just has Dunk narrate it, saying that she asked him to go to ice cream. So in other words, instead of filming an ending for it, they probably couldn't get her to do the ending, so they
She
just
looked completely different.
yeah. They just did a still.
It's so different that it was hard to tell it was her.
That's seriously one of the worst decisions in movies
All right,
I've
what do you
ever
give this
seen.
movie? This movie fucking sucked.
I hated it. I hate it. I probably would give it a 2.
It's a 2.
It's really funny though because like the movie looks good, like it's shot well.
Oh, it cost millions of dollars.
Yeah.
It cost $10 million.
Okay,
That's
that
all.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's
it was
And that's
shot
with
really
slave
well.
people.
Yeah.
With just slaves.
All right, what are our questions?
Okay, so we got a bunch of people watched this movie, and a lot of them thought it was either funny or stupid. Nick asked
More
if you could
stupid
use
than funny.
if you could use Crouching Tiger Kung Fu to help you with an everyday task, what would it be?
I think I'd go back in time and not go to college.
With an everyday task.
An everyday task.
I
would
would just
actually play basketball.
I would just whenever someone asked me a question at work, I would just throw an acupuncture needle into it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be sweet.
Fun.
Let's see. I don't know. Probably going to work, I just jump on cars instead of driving because fuck rush hour.
That's a good skill.
Okay, what else?
Let's see. D asked, do you think the time travel move would be a foul in an NBA game?
No, not in their NBA.
No, and also, it wouldn't be a foul because he could
was
go back in
CBA.
time
Yeah,
to
no
not
one would
have
know.
a foul.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, what is that guy doing with his arms? Whatever.
Yeah,
And then you don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
You go back.
Well, it's the same thing from Harry Potter. Now, I know you guys haven't watched the Harry Potter movies, and I really haven't either. But there's this thing where you can go back in time.
Yeah,
and they
it's
use it for like
completely
one
fucking
little.
broken.
They use it for one little thing, but they could use it all the time,
Yep.
and then their lives would be perfect.
Fucking broken.
Yeah, it doesn't make
Stupid.
any
It's like
sense.
Star Wars. They don't use Force enough. Okay.
That is
Yeah.
Pandora's box. Once
So-
you get time travel out, you ruin
Yeah, it
everything.
ruins
It's
it.
really hard.
Josh said he watched this movie and he said it was kind of shitty, but he said his daughter was watching Don Bluth's Rockadoodle and said that she made out better.
Yeah, Rockadoodle's
Yeah.
better.
Rockadoodle's on Netflix now. Yeah.
I've seen Rockadoodle.
So yeah,
Well, I did too a long time ago, but it
Pretty-
just
That
got
movie
mixed
just didn't
in.
have enough dunks, I think.
not enough dumb.
That movie sucked.
Okay, we're gonna go Teach Me now. Alex, tell us about Tiffany.
Okay, so
Eat breakfast.
I honestly never knew who the fuck Tiffany was until I did this segment. I don't even know what's
Wrong with you?
Yeah, and after I listened to her music, I found out that's a good thing.
Yeah, because she sucks.
Yeah. So I looked her up on Wikipedia, and on the right, it shows the genres of her music style, and there's 3 of them. It says country, so far not
What?
good.
No.
Pop rock, also not good,
Maybe.
and teen pop. Oh,
I would say that's the most fitting.
which is the least one I want to hear. So
You want me to?
no, yeah. So her real name is Tiffany Darwish. She's 39 now. She mainly just got big during the 80s, like 86, 87, stuff like that, late 80s. And this is something I read in Wikipedia. This is what one of her tours is. Tiffany went on a nationwide tour titled The Beautiful You, celebrating the Good Life Shopping Mall Tour 87. That's the whole fucking tour name right there.
Was that
The
named
Good
by an
Life-
Asian
don't
person?
know. It's like
Happy
Good-
Fun Time Tour 2010.
The Good Life Shopping Mall Tour.
Yeah.
Good Life Shopping Mall Tour.
Good
Oh,
job,
you're at the
commercial.
shop.
All right,
Let's go.
Start the first song. So in '87, she had a #1 hit called "I Think We're Alone Now," and it's going to start up soon. So I watched the video for this on YouTube, and there isn't 1 second of this song that isn't just overly '80s the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the video's great,
Dude.
too.
It's about as 80s as
It's
it
the
gets.
80s. Do a lot of coke.
She has
Go for Ronald Reagan.
the puffy '80s hair, small tight denim jacket thing.
Did she have leg warmers or something?
She had I wrote tights with those stupid long socks rolled down. So yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So she's like the perfect 80s. So people think this song is like about her being shy or wanting to fuck someone when no one's there or something like that. But after reading the lyrics, I found out what it's really about. So here are some of the lyrics right here. Children behave. That's what they say when we're together. And watch how you play. They don't understand. Okay, so it's just like our parents were telling her to behave or something like
Yeah.
that. And he goes, I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. Okay.
Okay.
And it says, look at the way we gotta hide what we're doing, because what would they say if they ever knew? So she wants to fuck her brother. That's what it sounds like. Exactly what it sounds like. Look at the way we gotta hide what we're doing, because what would they say if they ever knew? And she's talking about her parents, like, watch it, dude.
I think you've got it implanted, though, because we watched House of Yes about a week ago.
No. Also, she was only 16 when this song came out, so...
Whoa, that's creepy.
Yeah, and then...
Yeah, that's basically, well, what the song is about on the surface, even if it's not about that. It's about trying to find a place where they're alone so they can have sex. If
Yeah,
you're
well...
16?
Yeah, well, why gotta hide what they're
whatever.
doing? Because what would they say if they ever knew? What does it matter?
They would say, "Stop fucking."
I mean, your
Sex,
brother,
you're
yeah, I know.
16.
Stop fucking, or you're gonna end up having one of you, like we did.
You have a flipper kid.
So, that was, her song came on 86 there. And she had an album in 87 that went number 1 in the U.S. Then her second album came out in 88, and it didn't do... It did good, but not as good. And after that, she just fell off the face of the earth.
No.
So in 88,
Yeah.
she was still 17, so she never had anything good past when she was 18. She was always a minor the
That's
entire
depressing.
time. Also, when I watch the videos, she doesn't look that young. She looks a lot older. It's the 80s era. That's what it is. It just does that.
That like curly.
She also has
song
that
now.
big schnoz too.
Yeah, she kind of does. I mean,
She got a nose job.
go ahead and start the next song. I mean, just that the whole 80s. Oh, the 80s is terrible. That's all I gotta say. So the next song we're playing is it's called All This Time. This is just the second song I found on YouTube. I'm like, I gotta listen to more than one, I guess. So I clicked on another one.
Yes.
And after hearing this, I don't think there's a man on earth who ever willingly listened to this song.
Nope, there were. She had stalkers, and there's actually a great
Yeah.
documentary on it called "I Think We're Alone Now," and it's disturbing as hell.
Yeah, she did
I don't know. I thought maybe some guy like maybe masturbated to the video or something. That's it. Like no one was like, yeah, I want to listen to this song.
She had actually insane number of fans. She was huge
Yeah.
for a while.
A
That
lot of
sounds
guys liked her.
Sounds like something my sister listened to when she was like 10 or something.
Yeah, well, my
Yeah.
sister did. So,
She was a Tiffany fan.
yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Well, for the time that
No,
Tiffany
it makes
was
sense.
big.
Totally.
For the time Tiffany was big and then, disappeared.
I had an older brother who's 6 years older than me, and he would just literally like walk in and he'd be like, "Don't you listen to Tiffany because she sucks." He would do that with some artists like Vanilla Ice. He always hated Vanilla Ice.
He's a good brother.
He's like, "Don't you ever like Vanilla Ice because he sucks." And it's like, okay, whatever.
Good.
Don't beat me up.
So kind of like in conclusion is that
You chose one.
80s has some good things and some bad things. So
What are the good
let's
things?
list off the good things. The number one good thing: action movies. That's it.
80s had some good action.
That's it.
guess.
Arnold action movies. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, Nintendo.
They were still really good after that too.
Yeah.
So they got better.
They
So,
did get better.
Everything else in the 80s is just terrible. It's fucking god awful. Nothing in the 80s ages well either. It ages so
Hey,
fucking bad.
what about Hypercolor? Those shirts were pretty sweet.
Group B was good in the 80s. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's like the most obscure thing. Shut up. Come on.
Yeah, shut up. So is there
we
any,
need
I don't think we
questions?
have any Tiffany questions.
We do have one Tiffany
Oh,
question
great.
from Mick. It says, "Could you name a single Tiffany album?" I'm assuming this is before you researched it.
I think it was called "I Think We're Alone Now" is her album. I'm
I
probably
think
wrong.
Did you know that
actually
before you
was.
researched, though?
Fuck no.
Okay. Well,
Now, you said you had never even heard of Tiffany before
Nope.
this. I picked a good one, apparently.
Yeah, so
All right, you can stop that fucking song now.
I gotta ask, do you know a lot about what Tiffany does now? Like what her
She's still making
I'm
more.
assuming
how
She
she
still,
makes
she
her
still
bread and
makes
butter?
music and stuff.
I'm assuming
Yeah.
methamphetamine.
no one.
No, she does not have a
She's
drug
not really
problem.
like a drug. Well, she's like a.
She's apparently pretty normal.
Yeah.
Actually.
She's actually doing those sci-fi movies, like Shark versus Snake, like those. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's in those, huh? I think I saw her in
Yeah,
one.
she's
I didn't
in
read
one
that
with Debbie
far.
Gibson, the other girl
That's
from the
funny.
80s.
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
And it's like Sharkopus versus Giant Dog or
I'm
whatever.
gonna
Who
look-
gives a shit?
I'm going to look that up.
Okay, so I got Mike's gonna be then doing the next Teach Me,
Okay, I'm excited.
and
What is
I found two of them. I have either R.L. Stein.
it?
Yes.
I read his first 50 books.
If we were going to
too.
do one of those, I would rather he did Dean Koontz.
Also, we have I got John Wayne Gacy, who was a serial killer, and we used to wear clown stuff to kill people.
That's a tough decision right there.
Man, I'm going to do John Wayne Gacy because No, you know what? I'm going to do R.L. Stein because there will be better clips because of the Goosebumps TV show.
Dude,
Which I hated.
How excited were you for that, though?
I was so pumped, and I fucking hated
Yeah, they were
it.
they
I
were
still was
bad.
reading the books, and I
Are you
hated
afraid of the
that
dark?
show.
Kick that show.
All right,
out.
so
yeah.
send us your R.L. Stein questions. That's not Animorphs, you idiots. Okay.
Yeah.
Not Animorphs.
Dude, have you ever seen R.L. Stein? He's like some
Yes.
bald, neppish dude. Like, looks so
He's so
pathetic.
boring.
Does he look like the type of person who would
No.
write those?
No.
No.
Not really.
He looks like a lawyer.
Yeah.
Admittedly, everyone around me read R.L. Stein when they were a kid, and I didn't. I hated it.
That was probably a good idea.
I hated those books. I thought
Night
they
of the
were
Living
stupid.
Dummy, man.
Okay.
Okay.
8.
Moving on. Mike, you got something about superheroes?
Yeah, so I wanted to do this piece because I read this week that Green Lantern 2, despite the first one bombing, has been greenlit with the same director.
Greenlit?
Yeah, I did not mean to do that. It's getting made with the same director and writer that made the first one, which everyone hated and
Same
didn't
actor
see.
and cast and everything?
Yep, pretty much. And I really couldn't understand this because the movie lost a lot of money. But nevertheless, Warner Brothers felt they needed to establish their Green Lantern franchise for their DC Comics film subsidiary.
Green
'cause they
Lantern,
own
like,
DC.
seriously, though, Green Lantern is one of the most boring superhero characters.
Yes.
There's way more boring guys than him, though.
Yeah. Well, Superman.
That's true.
Superman's so lame.
Yeah.
Okay, we can
But
talk about
anyways,
that forever.
so I haven't been doing so well in the top 3 movies, but I'm going to make a prediction that we are in a superhero movie bubble. Okay.
You think it's going to collapse?
I think it's going to take a few years, but yes. And here's
They're
my-
running out of superheroes.
Well, I'm going to get into that.
Correction, they're running out of good superheroes.
Yeah, that's they'll never run out of the superheroes. Ever since 2002, when Spider-Man was released, superhero movies have just become a substantial part of the studio's earnings. It's just a huge part of it. And after that made $800 million back then, which was insane.
huge.
Yeah, studios began just buying up all these available licenses, most of which were Marvel. They were almost all Marvel because Warner owns DC.
Right.
So superhero films were becoming immensely successful. You know, you all saw them, Iron Man, all that shit.
Yeah.
And then in 2009, Marvel was bought by Disney for $4 billion. And this changed everything. Because it seemed like a great purchase for Disney, but it was weird because they didn't own the rights to the licenses that they bought because they sold them to other people.
Yeah.
So there were existing conditions. But Marvel was smart, and they put these conditions into the contracts where it said they had to not sit on the property.
They
Yeah,
have to
they
make
have
a
to
movie
use-
like every 5 years.
Yeah,
right?
it's typically 5 years. Most of them are 5-year windows. And before the purchase, people would just go, hey, can we have a little bit longer? And Marvel would usually comply. But now that a rival studio owns Marvel, they're
Marvel just wants
never...
the money,
yeah,
right?
they're like,
Yeah.
please fuck up, Sony. Please don't make a Spider-Man movie so we can have Spider-Man. You know, they're going to jump on it if they don't make them. So the first part, I think that's going to become a big problem is you have Fox with X-Men, Sony with Spider-Man. Those are like the big ones.
Yeah.
And they're required to make films every 5 years, forever.
Yep.
Or they lose it.
They're not
They
going to
lose
stop
the-
making them.
They lose the license.
They lose it to Disney, yeah. So this is already leading to a bunch of rushed projects. Amazing Spider-Man was super rushed, and I mean, they don't even have the script finalized completely yet, and they're about to shoot it.
There's already a trailer for it.
Yeah, so, well, they shoot part of it.
Yeah.
That's how fucked up it is. I mean, they rushed the hell out of it. So now any licenses not controlled by Disney are being rushed, developed, whether the script is ready. They don't care. They're just going to make it.
Right.
So that's the first problem. The second problem is Disney. Disney, they did buy Iron Man for a ton of money from Paramount. They had to spend a ton.
This is
to get the
after
rights.
Iron Man 2?
Yeah, after Iron Man 2. They bought the rights. But other than that, all they got is the scraps. That's all they got. They got shit.
Yeah.
And they got one big albatross, which I'll get to later, another project. So now they're having to make all these movies and get a return on investment on these second-tier superheroes like Thor and like things that people don't give a
Thor's
shit
not
about.
second tier.
Yeah, I know. Someone will argue with me that he's not, but he is.
Yeah.
So then there's the other half, which is Warner, who owns DC. Now, Warner has had really good success with Batman. unbelievable, unprecedented.
Yeah, Dark Knight,
success.
Dark Knight was actually pretty good.
What I will say is those characters are popular.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, X-Men, Batman, those are really, really, really popular.
Yeah.
No one cares about
Thor,
Superman or
who
Flash
cares?
or Thor or
Exactly.
Captain America. I mean,
But we talked about this a little bit, the Superman thing. I did some research, and it is fascinating. So basically, copyright law is actually doing something in America.
Not really?
The Jerry Siegel family who created Superman, they're going to own half the copyright in 2013 for
Wow.
Superman, and they're in a huge lawsuit. And Warner Brothers does not have the movie ready yet, but they have to get it out because as soon as 2013 comes along, they have to pay half of all of the profits to.
So they're not going to make any more.
They're never going to make a Superman movie again because it won't be profitable.
Nope.
It'll be a complete waste of money for them. So basically,
Who cares?
they're going to work.
I can live with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Superman's
but
not fun.
see, Warner Brothers now is in a pickle because they just lost Harry Potter,
Yeah.
and they're the big successful studio, and now they don't have their guaranteed cash cow, and they have to replace it with something. They can't replace it with Superman because that's just going to be a cash grab. So now they have to develop DC licenses, which tend to suck. So sorry, comic
yeah,
book fans.
I
but
mean,
they-
who from aside from Superman and Batman? I mean, most people can't name other DC characters.
Marvel characters are way better for films than DC
Yeah.
characters are. DC characters
I-
get into more crazy shit that like
The-
space and stuff with Green Lantern and where
Yeah.
there's like aliens and stuff. And it's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, so the result is this summer a saturation of the market because all these companies need to make movies
So they
to
get
make
the-
their money back.
yeah.
So we had 4 superhero movies that were released.
Right.
But what's interesting though is that while some of them fared well internationally, some of them didn't. Green Lantern did terrible, but none have passed the 200 million mark domestically. And there's only been one other year where that happened since Spider-Man came out. And that was the year that Wolverine came out, and that was the only movie.
That movie
Right.
destroyed
And that
too.
movie made more than all but one of these movies.
Yeah.
You know that
And it
movie,
made it almost
That
the
movie
same.
was awful.
that movie's premiere was here in Phoenix.
Yes, it was.
It was in Mesa.
Actually, it was online
And-
because it came out early online.
well,
And that
at
Fox
any-
guy reviewed it and got fired.
I had 2 coworkers who actually went to the movie premiere.
I'm
here
sorry for
in
them.
Phoenix,
That's
and-
funny.
No, they loved it. They thought it was good. Yes,
bad.
People love
Well-
Wolverine, man.
they have bad taste in movies, so
Wolverine's
So-
a shitty X-Men.
Anyways,
Damn.
despite what appears to be flattening interest in the U.S., I think that and also more competition. People aren't going to want to see 6 superhero movies in one year. I just don't think that, and especially in one summer. I just think that they won't want to do that. That's my own opinion. They are starting to just slam the market. This is what's in development. Okay, Luke Cage, Superman, Man of Steel, Venom, X-Men Origins, Wolverine 2, Flash Gordon, The Flash, Justice League,
Flash
Iron Man
Gordon.
3, Runaways, Lobo, Silver Surfer, Nick Fury, Ant-Man. Ant-Man is being made
That
into a
won't be
movie.
made.
they're making.
I do want to see the Nick Fury one if Sam Jackson is the lead.
Well,
He
he
is.
is.
He is.
Okay, I'll actually watch that one.
Deadpool and Submarine.
that.
Submarine. I don't know who
Why not
Submariner is.
Cable?
No, actually, Submariner could be a good one.
Why
Well,
not Deadpool and Cable?
Either way, I don't know it.
They
You
already
know,
made those comics. What the fuck?
No, it's dead.
So, and that doesn't even include the 5 that are absolutely being made, which is Deathlock, The Amazing Spider-Man. Yep.
I don't know half of these characters.
I don't
almost
either.
all
And
So
of them.
that
actually, I have a
poses
question.
trouble
I have a question for the Amazing
for the
Spider-Man. Are they doing the Black Puerto Rican guy, the reboot one for the different universe?
No. They're gonna
Because
put
what's his name?
What's it, Andrew Garfield in blackface? That would be amazing.
Maybe they should get him to just do the Spirit another 10 times because that movie turned out great.
Yeah. So, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Dark Knight Rises, Ghost Rider 2, and the last one I want to talk
Ghost Rider
about,
2.
The Avengers.
Nick Cage.
So, The Avengers is Disney's real cash grab. They're like, this movie's going to be...
Oh yeah, they've been
Oh,
building
yeah.
that movie
Yeah,
up
yeah,
for
they
like
built up
8
all the
years.
yeah, they built up all the
It's been
previous
like 8
4
years
ones.
now.
And I think that movie's going to make a ton of money.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
it's going to.
But
yeah.
the film is going to cost them unprecedented amount of money. The budget is one of the biggest of all time. It's $260 million. But that's only the half of it. They have to pay percentages to every one of those actors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's and then they got to pay the box office, all the
So
the
for
theaters.
the Avengers, are they doing all the actors from the previous movies like Ed Norton?
No,
Ed Norton got kicked
it's not
out,
Ed
but
Norton,
most
now
of
it's
them-
Mark Ruffalo.
but
But
he still
Downey
gets a
Jr.
percentage.
Downey Jr. still
Yep.
getting it. Who are the other two?
Yes,
Samuel Jackson.
everyone's in it.
They're all in it, and they all get percentages.
Why did Norton get kicked
see,
out?
They all get
He didn't want
points.
to be in it
Did
because
he
he thought the
get
script
kicked out,
sucked.
or did he leave?
No, he thought the script sucked.
Yeah,
so
he didn't like the script.
Yeah.
So there's no movie that's ever done that though. Where there's been a lot of movies and they combine the actors into one movie.
It's a cool
I
idea.
gotta say, Ed Norton, he's in some movies I don't like, but he's generally pretty good
No,
at
I think
picking
he's a decent
scripts.
actor.
Yeah.
So, he's been in a lot of movies with pretty good scripts. So if he says the script sucks and doesn't want to be
But
in
you
it,
don't
when
like
you
Josh
know,
Whedon?
yeah, well, that's just it. It's like you know how much money this movie's going to make. You know how much money he would make from it, and he chose not to be in it.
Yeah.
I thought
that should be a sign.
Well, I thought the only
That's a
reason he
bad
did the
sign.
Hulk movie was to be in the Avengers because that Hulk movie's all.
Yeah, the Hulk
lame.
movie.
Yeah, it's lame.
He,
It is
he
lame.
helped write that too, by the way. So I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So,
he did.
anyways, they're going to have to make about $700 to $800 million globally just to break
They will.
even. Just to break.
Oh yeah, they will.
I don't know.
DVD
I mean,
sales and
I
shit,
think
man?
they could do it.
Worldwide.
It's definitely plausible, but it's going to make probably about $300 million here. So it has to pull $400 or $500 million.
Worldwide.
I'm
worldwide.
still wondering why they're doing
I
an
can-
Ant-Man
I
movie if there's
can,
Avengers coming up. Because that's like the easiest shoe-in ever. Why would you
I
need
think
Ant-Man?
I think they're gonna make it back. Now, I'm not saying whether I want them to or not. I don't especially like comic book movies. I'm kind of sick of them, and I'm not into comics. I never have been.
Yeah.
But I think they'll make the money back. I do.
They'll definitely make the money back.
I just think like with these movies that you might be right. I mean, maybe there is going with what the point you're making is good, but I don't think it's going to happen that
No,
soon.
in
No, I
in
think
like
it's gonna
20
take a
years,
couple years.
like 20 years, there's gonna be the worst fucking Spider. It's gonna make all these Spider-Man spin-offs and shit because they can't just reboot it.
No.
Every fucking 8 years.
This is the thing
X-Men's
that-
gonna last a long time before it gets really bad.
I just think that if there's 4 comic book movies coming out every summer, the pie's smaller. The slices of the pie are smaller.
Yeah.
Right.
Very few people are going to see all 4 comic book movies.
Well, there's like
you know?
Punisher movies and shit that no one watched, but the big name guys are gonna make money all the time.
Well, yeah, the main problem, I think, though, is the fact that they're running out of known good superheroes.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
the
like,
more they do them, the less
yeah,
interesting
because they're
they'll
going to
be.
have to go into, like, the B-team superhero stuff.
Well, they came out with Spider-Man 1 at the exact perfect time to
Yeah.
come out with it. That's what that movie. That was the perfect time to start that franchise, and they were smart about it. And
Well, they
made
also got lucky because Two Towers fell, and it was a very pro-America movie, and it
Yeah.
totally got into that Americana thing that was really weird, but made them a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, Doctor Doom cried when the towers fell.
Shut up.
Well, anyway,
I don't even get it. Whatever. Let's go.
so anyways, I'm just saying that they're going to end up. They're either going to split this up so much that they're not going to. Because the budgets are going up, that they're going to kill this golden goose probably in a few years. I think, and also the movies are getting more expensive. That's the other problem.
And
They
they're
keep
getting
spending
worse.
more and more and more.
Getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch them anymore. I barely wanted to watch them in the first place, and now I got to fucking watch them. It's the only movies that come out. Make an
No.
original fucking action movie.
I do.
No,
that
Hollywood's
is-
out of ideas.
Arnold's coming back.
That is something I agree with. Now, regardless of comic book movie or not, none of these movies are original. They're all the same
yeah,
movie.
Hollywood's
over
out
and
of
the
over.
ideas.
same
Just totally-
template. That's the biggest problem. Marvel Studios, they figure out a
Yeah.
template. They go, wow, their movies are better than most superhero movies that were made before. I mean, most of them were dog shit, and then they made them pretty good. But then every movie, they make the same movie
Yeah, it
over and
feels the
over and
same.
over again.
It does.
The,
Yeah.
the pacing's the same. It's just weird. I don't.
Okay.
Anyways, no more. I don't.
No
want
more
it.
superheroes. We're going to
No
move
more.
on.
No more.
Let's continue talking about movies. Let's go to top 3.
Yeah.
How badly
Great
would we do?
movies. All right, so last week, the movies that made the most money were Rise of the Planet of the Apes, 54
Did
million.
really well.
God fucking damn it.
Smurfs, 21 million,
Really?
number 2. And number 3, Cowboys and Aliens, which is a comic book
Smurfs
movie,
beat Cowboys
15
and
million.
Aliens.
I told you Smurf was going to beat Cowboys and
Fucking
Aliens, but I was
Smurfs.
fucking wrong on the
I don't
change
remember.
up.
I never remember.
So
what I
me
picked.
and Benson were 2-1, and the other
You
two
guys,
were,
I had the best bets, and I still lost.
were 1 and 2.
Man,
Fucking
because I got
Smurfs, God
Smurfs.
It's
damn.
because that fucking change-up movie didn't make it in the top 3.
Yeah.
I must be doing amazing, aren't I?
Benson is 26 and 13. I'm 25 and 14. Ryan's 23 and 16. Mike's 19 and 20.
I
Yeah.
can't believe I'm in the lead.
Fuck you,
here.
America, for going to see that
America.
goddamn Smurfs movie.
I agree with you, actually.
Oh, well.
I made the best guess,
I don't want
and
to
I
live
still
on
lost.
this
Yeah,
planet
exactly.
anymore.
Bullshit.
I agree with you. Anyone, I gotta say, anyone, literally anyone who went to see the Smurfs is a fucking idiot.
Yep.
Because there is no way in hell that movie is even remotely tolerable.
When you were a kid, though, what dumb shit movies did you watch? I saw
Not the Smurfs. I fucking hated that show.
I watched
I
any,
hated the
you know,
Smurfs
I watched
too,
anything.
but I watched a lot of dumb
I watched
shit.
anything my parents took me to, but the fact is that I would never ask to go see that movie.
I saw
even when I was a kid.
I saw Hellraiser 3 in theaters, and I liked it.
I'd rather see that than the Smurfs movie.
That's a better movie.
No, that movie's horrible. I haven't seen the Smurfs. I'm figuring it's
The show
an
was
awful
horrible.
movie.
The only people
Yeah,
that went
it's awful.
to the movie are the parents. Like, oh, I like the Smurfs when I was a kid. I'll take my kid there. You're gonna love it.
Yeah,
And
my
the kid
parents
probably
always
was
talk about
bored.
them.
Actually,
shit.
they got
It was
him
in
a score of
3D.
A.
It was
My
in-
kids would, or my kids,
It was in
my
3D.
Yeah.
my
kids.
parents would always tell us kids what they liked as when they were kids, you know, and they would
Right.
always be like, "Well, we watched Captain Kangaroo. You
What,
know what?
Speed Racer?
I've watched
Yeah,
Captain
Speed
Kangaroo. That
Yeah, I
show
have too.
fucking sucks,
It's-
Dude, all their cartoons
Bad.
are garbage.
Yeah, you know why?
Not Speed Racer.
Because TV sucked back then,
And it turned off at like 10 p.m.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
When-
dude, seriously, it's like all because you liked it as a kid doesn't mean it's good. No one, the Smurfs was never good ever. It was never.
All right, so the
good.
movies for next week, they are coming up August 12th.
Damn, this is a bad week.
Final Destination 5. You know it's the Final Destination. There's never going to be another one. 5.
Final
30
countdown.
minutes or less, which is a movie with Jesse Eisenberg. I'm not really sure what it's about. But, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a they rob a bank or something.
And Glee Live in 38! Don't pick that.
What were the ones from last week?
Rise of the Planet of the Apes, number 1. Smurfs, Cowboys, and Aliens. So.
Oh, geez, this is
I
a
thought
hard
Conan was coming out next week, but that might be
that's
the week after.
It has like no competition, too.
one. Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants to see that. That thing looks like crap.
Like, I saw the trailer for it. It's like coming out next month. I'm like, what? Already? What?
What were the three? There was Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes, Smurfs, and Cowboys and Aliens, and Final Destination. So, 30 minutes or less.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of go weird on this because I need to catch up.
Everyone pick theirs?
I'm thinking about it. This is hard. This is a hard week.
It is a hard.
Get ready
Yeah.
It
to
is.
play He Chose Poorly after he picks it.
And mine.
I gotta go the other way.
Mine's pretty bad too, actually. I don't know.
Okay,
Let's
I
go.
got it.
I picked Final Destination, Apes, and then 30 minutes or
That's
less.
the same thing I picked.
I was thinking about that. I did the opposite. Right, Planet of the Apes, final, then 30 minutes.
Dude, Final Destination
I
made
think-
like $200 million.
Yeah,
picked
I
the
know.
same
Final
as
Destination is
Kevin.
a fucking stupid movie. People love fucking 8 movies.
No, people love Final Destination.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys probably hit me at a better choice, but I gotta do something different to get my points.
Yeah,
I thought mine would be different, and it wasn't.
yeah, I don't know if I think that it's the smartest.
While I was researching, though, it's really shocking. The box office is up 3% for the summer. For the year, it's
There's
like
nothing
down
good.
1,000,000,000% because
Yeah.
there's no Avatar or Alice in Wonderland, which everyone fucking saw.
Yeah, why did everyone see that?
I don't know, but fuck
Tim
you
Burton is a
people.
fucking
Yeah, Tim Burton,
fuck.
that's the
Fuck
reason.
Tim Burton.
When's
Yeah.
What's the last movie he made that was good? It was like Big Fish.
That was Big
Pee-wee's
Fish.
Big
That was
Adventure.
10 years
It
ago.
was Big Fish. Big Fish was definitely.
Yeah, that's his best movie. Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
All his movies.
No
I hate
matter
all
what
of
you
them.
say, Big Fish is his best movie.
think
Pee Wee's Big Adventure is fucking
Now you should
funny
play, you
as
should
hell.
play the
though.
curb sound after saying that.
Okay, we got to move in the top 5 most wanted. So let's see. Number 5. Let me bring it up here. Mark Zuckerberg's sister is a sniffling entitled cunt. That's
Yeah.
Mike's
Yeah,
words.
so, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Quote from Michael Learstead.
Learstead, yeah.
That's what it says,
Yeah, so, basically, she said that I think anonymity on the internet has to go away. This is not shocking. She's the director of PR for
Yeah.
Facebook. Well, she was. She started her own PR firm, actually, the day after this. And it's called, what's her name? Because I could figure it out. Oh,
Randy.
R2Z Media.
Do you think she started her
Randy
own
to Zuckerberg Media.
Do you think
what a
she's-
great name.
Do you think she started her own PR firm because of this statement? Do you think they told her that they
No.
No.
she just wanted more money.
She's got stock. She didn't give a shit. She's starting her own company. She's going to ride her brother's coattails and say stupid shit. Basically, she thinks that anonymity should go away because it would protect people from cyberbullying.
No, it's
Yeah.
the complete
No,
opposite.
it does not. People on Facebook bully all the time. They go, "Hey, I'm that kid from high school, and I'm calling you a fag."
Yeah, if it was some
That's
random guy
what-
named Buttsex55, I don't care what this guy says about me.
Yeah.
Fuck, what the fuck do I care?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I got bullied.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually worse when they have a name.
Yeah,
Because
I
then
know.
you see everyone who hates you, and
Yeah.
you have a tangible.
It actually
hates
means
you.
something.
It's like
Yeah.
the internet. Everyone hates us, but since
Yeah.
we don't have names. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
this-
exactly.
even regardless of that, it's like this woman's basically saying she doesn't believe that people should be able to be anonymous ever, which
Well,
is
no,
so
she
insane.
doesn't-
I want to ask though, is her account public on
Dude.
Facebook? Because I bet you it isn't.
I
The
bet she
question-
gets
not.
bullied all the time by anonymous
The thing
people.
about it is, does it even matter if she thought for herself about the pros and cons of anonymity? She just says this because she owns stock in Facebook because her brother owns the
Yep,
place.
that's
and
why.
that's why she said
That
it.
is why. Yeah.
PR.
Yeah, well now she has her own company, so that's great.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Number 4. Unschooling advocate is a current professor. I think this is yours.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, this guy, he's in Canada. He's
yeah.
a doctor. He's like a doctor of education, and he thinks that kids should not be schooled. That they should basically sit at home, and basically you give them tasks in the day. Like maybe you have them cook. Maybe you have them do like applied mathematics. You know, like bills and stuff. Make them like a slave, and they'll learn through those experiences. Yeah, okay, whatever. What's interesting, though, is that the guy who believes that you shouldn't school your kids works at a university teaching.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's what pisses me off about it, because we talked about this during the meeting.
But he's a teacher. He's smart.
The guy, well,
Yes.
you know what? Maybe he is or he isn't smart. It doesn't even matter, though, because the thing is, I don't necessarily disagree with the concept of this whole unteaching thing. There are aspects of it I don't agree with, but the fact is that whether it's a good point or not, the dude is teaching while saying that teaching is bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
And
hates
he's
his
making
job.
probably $100,000 a year.
What if I
He
went
hates
to-
his job.
well, maybe, but I could go to my bosses and be like, IT's bullshit. We don't even need IT at this company. And then they'd be like, oh, really? And they fire me. You know? Like, he shouldn't be allowed to say that and still have his job.
Well, we were talking about this. What I showed this too is I wonder if he's in class going, "You guys are all idiots. Why the fuck are you in here? You're dumb. You're just giving me money. You're all stupid." Like, what is
Today's
going
lesson:
on?
how to give me money.
You've been learning it for a while now.
Class has been canceled the next 2 months as well.
Goddamn.
Your
college.
assignment today is to teach yourself. I'm going to play Pong.
Okay,
That's pretty much college right there. Anyway, number 3. Missouri
70s.
bans students and teachers from being friends on Facebook. This one's great. So Missouri is. Did they pass the law or they passed the law? I forgot.
Missouri?
Missouri.
I can't remember if they're passing. it
State.
or-
No, he signed the
Yeah,
law,
passed.
Senate Bill 54, which goes into effect on August 28th. Basically, it says that teachers and students can't be friends on social media sites like Facebook, and this is to prevent molestation of children. Apparently,
so I can't
Yeah.
be friends with any adults because they might molest me too.
well, the whole idea is.
Exactly.
My question
Exactly.
is, why are they prevented from being friends on Facebook when these kids are in class with the teachers for 8 hours a day? It's like,
Because they're going to get online molested.
No, because they can
Cyber molestation.
That allows them to contact them outside the confines of school, so they can tell them when to get together, so that they can molest
They
them.
could tell them that in the
Yeah,
class
so
too.
there's no paper trail there.
No,
yeah.
no.
Here's my
Stop using
reasoning.
common sense.
Here's my reasoning why they're doing this. It's because if there is a molestation case, there is no paper trail. I
here's my-
guarantee, because when kids get molested by a teacher, they sue the school district.
Yeah.
That's what happens, and they win 100% of the time, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
Well, here's the question though. It's like
Get
it's
rid of the
supposed to
paper
prevent
trail.
the molestation of kids, but it's like it's common knowledge that a lot of molestation against children occur by family and friends.
yeah,
That's the
So
highest
like,
number.
yeah. So are they preventing parents and grandparents and uncles and
It has
aunts?
nothing to do with molestation because
No, it
by
doesn't.
that logic,
No.
they can't friend any adult.
It has
I really
to
think
do.
it does with
it's,
paper
it has-
trail.
yeah, it's a business. It's a business decision basically that
Mm-hmm.
schools probably rallied and said, we don't want
To get sued.
to. Well, they're going to get sued either way. But the fact is, if they can control more of aspects of the case by having it all occur
I know they should
in
do
school, it makes it
background
easier
checks
for
and have
them.
better interviews.
No.
Yeah, no.
I bet you there's one person though, that one molester that's like, fuck, fucking shit, it was so easy. Now I can't do it.
Then he
It
just
sucks.
then he just makes a Facebook profile where he's like a 14-year-old
No,
kid.
He has to go through.
Yeah, exactly.
He has to go through his log of friend requests and
No. He just
click
moved to
no
Iowa.
on
It's
all
fine.
of them.
Yeah, he just moves out of state. It's like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they weren't going to give me tenure here. That's why. So I wonder how Randy Zuckerberg feels about this whole thing. I just wonder.
Oh, she probably hates it.
Yeah.
no anonymity.
This is bullshit.
Anonymity.
This is bullshit.
Moving on, number 2. Texas thinks that killing innocent people is admirable. I think this is you again.
This guy's awesome.
So
He's my hero.
This is incredible.
So basically, Governor Rick Perry, he's getting a lot of attention.
Well, he's trying to be a presidential candidate, but everyone's like, no, this guy's not
Yeah,
gonna
he had
win.
his day of prayer, which would automatically almost make him a top 5 candidate anyways. 'Cause it's like, we have a lot of problems in the world. Let's pray. It's like, you're supposed to work. What are you doing?
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Waste time and money.
These are the
fucking
guys,
asshole.
we're voting these guys into the White House so that they can pray. Is
Yeah.
that...
Because praying does a lot. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it
tangible
seems
and
to
it's
be
rewards.
helpful.
Yeah, and here's
Anyway,
the other thing.
So what is this guy?
Okay, so he's a governor. He was
He's the governor
lieutenant
of
governor
Texas.
under Bush when he was governor of Texas, and he's managed to put Texas into a huge deficit, even though they have more businesses. Than
Oh, 'cause you
any
can't
other
raise
So
state.
wait, so what?
Yeah.
Sorry, what is this thing about? Say it again.
So, anyways, they're talking about how electable he is, right? And this was on Politico, which is kind of, it's gossip rag with politics. I don't really like it typically, but this was pretty funny. The person that ran against him for the Republican governor nomination basically said they would run into these cases where people liked him. They were trying to smear him because he killed what appears to be an innocent man, and he was
On death row.
he was on death row, and they obviously had proven that this guy should get an appeal, and he was just like, nope, tough shit, and he just killed that dude. And they thought they could smear him for this, and it
Makes sense.
It did not work. So one person actually said this was Cameron Todd Willingham. That was executed. I'm sorry. And a primary voter said it takes balls to kill an innocent man.
That was his. Yeah, that was his.
So this isn't
Why
so much.
like
This
Carey?
isn't so much about Rick Perry. This is about this one guy from Texas
Yes.
that says it takes balls to kill an innocent man.
It's like, I'm
Yeah.
voting for that guy.
But
But he has a lot of supporters, so.
but it's
He does.
it's also
this
indicative
probably
of,
isn't the only person that feels that way.
of how Texas felt about it, because most Republicans didn't care. They were just like, oh well, you gotta crack a few eggs and make an omelet.
you win
know?
some, you lose some.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
but this guy's just insane though. It takes balls to. It's like, okay, so if I shot you in the head, would you admire me? Like if I just blew your brains
Man, that
out
was
right
It takes
now.
balls to do a daylight killing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'd kill an innocent man.
That guy's awesome.
So
Yeah. Awesome.
Number 1, Stephen King is a sexist.
okay, so this isn't Stephen King, the author, which he probably also is a sexist in some way. I don't know.
No, he just writes bad books.
Yeah, he just sucks. But no, this is Republican Representative Steve King. He's doing what politicians typically do, which is distract. And he wanted to get on the fact that the new budget has free birth control. And he, of course, hates this because he's Republican and Christian and whatever, and it's a distraction. So he said that basically, where is it? Okay, here it is. If you applied that preventative medicine universally, what you end up with is you've prevented a generation. Preventing babies from being born is not medicine. That's not constructive to our culture and our civilization. If we let our birth rate get down below replacement rate, we are a dying civilization.
So we can file him under people who have never heard of overpopulation.
No, yeah, he just doesn't believe in it. And
So I guess Japan and Norway
China.
are just,
yeah,
dying populations.
Yeah.
but that's a stupid statement. But this one was the one that really pissed me off. We're $14 trillion in debt, and now we're going to cover birth control, breast pumps, counseling for abuse. Are we going to cover pedicures and manicures as well?
Well, maybe
So
we
this
should
guy
cut.
doesn't-
Maybe we
up.
should cut the fucking military budget by
No.
more than a
Shut
half.
up.
Here's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
thing about that. He says that by preventing, by giving birth control out, he's also insinuated that we're going to, pay for all these other, medical practices. The thing is, by not preventing the birth control, we're going to have a bunch of, unwanted unplanned pregnancies and a lot of complications and money that goes along with
This is all
that.
you got to say. Other countries have socialized medicine. They have free birth control, right?
Yeah.
Do they have a problem?
No.
There. That's
And here's the other thing. counseling for abuse is bad, I guess. I guess that's bad. So
You guys can't get through it? Fuck you.
So can I be in a relationship with him and beat the shit out of him every day? Because I'd like to do that. I'd love to just beat him up. I'd rape him anally. I'm not even into that, but it'd be fun. I think it'd be funny.
Squeal, squeal.
Yeah, I just fucking... This guy needs to get beat up.
Hold on, answering the door for the Secret Service.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid. This guy clearly doesn't have any understanding of this subject, but
He's successful.
push his shitty morals on
But
people.
he's successful, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
God damn. Okay, I think we're done with all these.
Actually, before we are done, I think you mentioned something to me this week.
Huh? Oh, God.
More Bitcoin shit.
I totally forgot about that. There's a site called like My Bitcoin. I don't have the thing with me. I can't cite my sources.
You told me what it was.
Anyway, some site that had
Anger
Bitcoin
about
wallet
this.
backups got hacked and a bunch of stuff got stolen, and now people are all sad.
Didn't you say like thousands of wallets?
Yeah, thousands of wallets, guys. The funny thing is, though, is that they're contacting the FBI, to investigate. When these are all the libertarians that say we don't need government in our Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't need it until you need it.
I'll find a
Yeah,
source for that because
isn't
I
that
don't have
ironic?
it.
Yeah.
I don't have it right now. But anyway, we're done with this podcast. Again, if you want to leave us questions or comments, it's podcast@tipping40s.com or 218-666-8407. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.